ever did a Happy Gilmore miniseries, he'd be the one that like, hey, let's get more behind this character. What's he about? What's his backstory? I think this is the first time someone's done something like this for me. I think there's something else we should do for the first time. I should give you a pearl necklace to match that bracelet.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Would you?
How about if I wanted to see you more than Tuesdays and Wednesdays? Then he sits back on the bed. She said, like, Stuart, you're making me uncomfortable, and I think you should leave. No, you don't.
Happened in the 90s.
You know how in wrestling they always say, like, you're only as good as your enemy, as good as your opponent? And, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how, like, a good heel makes a great face, and vice versa. So, with that being said, out of the pantheon of great Adam Sandler movies in the mid to late 90s, who do you think his most formidable heel was? Because there was a heel in each of them.
Yeah. I'm saying Shooter McGavin just because of like the swag Shooter brought to it.
Shooter.
Yeah. It's got to be Shooter, Steve. Do you beg to differ?
He's the first one that jumps out. It's kind of like, who is the most formidable Batman heel? The first one that jumps out is Joker. That's kind of how it is with Shooter. Out of any of them, he would be the most likely to have his own spinoff. If they ever did a Happy Gilmore miniseries, he'd be the one that like, hey, let's get more behind this character. What's he about? What's his backstory? Now, I will say a close second is the coach from Waterboy, because I'm going off of, who do you want to punch more out of any of these movies? Who would you really like to? And that coach, yeah, oh yeah.
Also, I hate to mind Happy Gilmore, but the guy that's like, you suck, jackass. That guy, he's the one that really beat Sandler. He got over on him, Steve. You know, he initiated some violence. And also, if you want to go meta, Big Daddy, I mean, being a good dad's a pretty good adversary, Steve. So, being an adoptive father at that. But I don't know who I would say is the heel of Big Daddy other than that, or Child Services, the fat guy who was the
Child
amazing
Protective.
Blob in Billy Madison.
Child Protective, maybe.
Yeah. Child Protective or Rob Schneider's weird Greek delivery guy. This is bullshit.
He should be shining Sandler's shoes at this point, man. You know, you've been living off of, especially now.
Sorry, Rob, but
I'm
you've
not.
proven to be a douchebag as of yourself. So, like, Sandler was bringing you on, getting you all this heat, got you starring roles. Nobody was hiring you before you did all these Sandler things. Then you got Animal, and Deuce Bigelow and whatnot. So, yeah, Rob Schneider, I hope you have like an altar to Adam Sandler that you're just like putting, you know, whatever. It's like one of those things at a nail salon.
More like douche Bigelow.
There's a couple of like people that I used to love where it's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
What happened?
Your ass used to be so beautiful.
What happened to you, man?
Hey, man. Back off, man.
I'm not. It's cool if I like Trump, man. I can chill. I mean, I wish. Yeah, that's one, Rob. Say less, you know? Just go on and come back and do a copy guy every once in a while or something, you know?
Oh, man. It's too late. There's no turning back at this point. The damage, there's too much damage, collateral damage and all.
Him and Dean Cain can hang out or something, like those desperate celebrities, you know? Dean's has to have a second job. He's got to round up fucking Mexican people or whatever he's up to now.
Rob Schneider, Dean Cain, and Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah,
Michael Richards too.
Who was Renegade? Was that wasn't Sorbo? That was
Lorenzo Lamas.
Yeah,
is he worthy of that?
I just want to throw him in, Steve. Maybe Sabato Jr. too. If we're going like those guys, that Antonio Sabato.
Well, what is he said? I'm going off of like canceled people that you might thought was cool back in the day. but they're turds now.
I
That's why
feel
I
like
said Dean.
I'm just guessing, and if I
Yeah.
apologize if Antonio Sabato's done nothing but good things, but I feel like him and Sorbo and Lamas were all hanging out, you know.
You know what, Matt? Fuck all these handsome motherfuckers from them 90s syndicated shows.
I don't know. We could. Who else, Steve? Who else are we throwing into the mix? Because we
Who
can't
else was
throw.
syndicated?
I'm not throwing MacGyver and shit into it. He can stay in. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. And maybe we've called out gotten a couple people caught up in some crossfire that don't deserve it. But yeah, if you were handsome in the '90s and you have some questionable fucking opinions, we're here to call you out.
Yeah.
You hear us?
I'll get you, bitch.
This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Lil Wayne CDs and your Wayne's World hats. Because whatever you want from me, I'm giving you everything. Happened in the 90s. You're giving me ecstasy. You are my fantasy. Happened in the 90s. Happened in the 90s.
Woo! Steve, is that Steve Houston over there? I don't know.
Today, my friend, we're talking all things November 6th in the 90s. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Starting off in 1990, Whitney Houston would release I'm Your Baby Tonight.
I mean, it's Whitney, Steve. There's not much we can say that hasn't already been said. There's some bangers on this. He sang a version of one of them. I feel like that's the one everybody knows. Miracle, I think, is on this one. There's another one. I was listening to it while jogging today. As somebody who's told you how much he loves R&B music, mostly because of like shit you told me about on the show, I would be remiss if I wasn't into Whitney Houston.
All the man I need. My name is not Susan. My name is not Susan. Mine's neither, Whitney. Mine's
Yeah.
neither. And
My
neither
name's
is Matt's.
Matthew.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Right.
Also, we could party. Sounds like you would like to have a good time. One thing I've thought was just crazy because when you put these people together, they're like on different levels of music. This never got past a Vanilla Ice album and an MC Hammer album on the Billboard Top 10, Steve. Got up to top 3, but that Vanilla Ice and that Hammer kept her at bay, at least in 1990. This was it. I mean, that was the last year that they could possibly do that. But I just thought, Vanilla Ice?
Well, this is the beginning of that rap music. It's growing and it would be on the Billboard charts. For like, this is the beginning, like Hammer and Vanilla. And then from then on, you're going to see some of those rap songs. That damn rap, Darna.
They're rhyming shit, and I'm not liking it.
Hippity hoppity shit.
Bebopping, slip slamming. I don't trust it.
Well, you know the kids today listening to the bebop and the hip hop and the bull. Get me a pudding pop. Go to bed.
Have this drink. Go.
But shout out to Whitney Houston. In 1992, Passenger 57 premieres. Airline security specialist John Cutter, finally returning to the job after his wife's death, finds himself in the middle of a hijacking by terrorists led by notorious international criminal Charles Rain. Directed by Kevin Hooks, starring Wesley Snipes, Bruce Payne, and Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore, dude. It's weird to see Tom Sizemore as the guy that you just trust, you know?
Right. He's a cop, but an actual cop.
A lot of weird, like, cop adjacent jobs in this, too, that I just didn't know existed. Because Wesley's not a cop, Steve. He's a security specialist. He's a consultant.
Whatever that means.
All I could say is I love this movie. It's great. This is one where Wesley's throwing out, like, one-liners just on a cheesy level that are so fantastic. You know, like, Bet on Black.
Always bet on black.
I mean, I love that. The villain's hilarious. The villain looks like the guy from Warlock, the horror movie. He's just like a weird white dude that, I mean, respect. This guy gets
Bruce
it done.
Payne.
Dude. Reign of Terror. That's a cool gangster name, Steve.
So is Bruce Payne.
Yeah, Bruce Payne. Could be anything. He could be a rapper. He could be a fucking wrestler. In this, he's a psychotic terrorist.
Could be related to Martin Payne.
Yeah, shit. I'm sorry. Different, that's my cousin. A terrorist who's just really good at hijacking planes. I'll give him credit. This guy's done it a lot. He's just, that's his MO. I didn't know hijackings were this easy, Steve, but I guess back in the 90s, you throw on a wig, you have a nice demeanor, you got a chick who's bad as fuck with you looking like a stewardess, acting all nice at first, and then she pulls out the tool. That's all you got to do. And I love that.
I mean, early 90s, we didn't ask questions.
Also, shout out to his henchman who's just like constantly on the outskirts, the bald dude who just is like in the background helping him out. Like, how'd you get all this access? Like, are you James Bond? Because you look like a shop teacher.
If it wasn't for Bruce Payne and Wesley Snipes, I don't think I'd look at this movie favorably. Like one of the first picks was Steven Seagal. They actually consider him, and that definitely wouldn't have worked.
Just like putting him in a different vehicle to beat his way out of. But yeah, Snipes, he's got the pizzazz. Also, he's an ass kicker. And I do like the martial arts he's throwing down in this. It's a lot of slow, like methodical, like Thai boxing almost, where he's like, deesh, deesh. It's Seagal-esque, to be honest, but it's got the Snipes kind of martial arts appeal to it. The blade.
And recently we talked about our favorite action stars of all time. We never mentioned Wesley. And that's why I said I don't think Jackie Chan gets his props like he does, like he should, because we never mentioned Jackie. We talked about Bruce, we talked about Arnold, Sly, Jean-Claude, Val Kilmer. Never mentioned those two.
Can I be honest though? I feel like it's because they didn't have their own like vehicle. They were just they were in good action movies, but they never got like all those other people had like sequels.
What?
Or a character that continued.
We had Blades.
And with all due respect, Steve, we're put on the spot sometimes on this show. I'm stoned to the gills. So they don't immediately come to me sometimes. And that's to the audience's detriment. I got a weed problem, guys, but it is what it is. And I agree with you. Wesley, you can call him action movies, whatever. He's been in a lot of great action and like gangster movies and shit like that. So shame on us. And this is another good one of them, I feel like. It's got it all. He's a guy who lost his wife in a crazy way to a brutal fucking gangster in his own right. I mean, the guy just blew his fucking wife away, for fuck's sake.
Put the gun down, man, and nothing will happen. Oh, psych. Yeah, dude.
Damn, I was trying to help you out, dude.
Right.
But yeah, he's an intense teacher, I'll tell you that. He's kind of rough on the chick that we see in the background behind you, who I thought was like some long lost Jackson sister. But I don't think she has like the chin. It's just kind of facially kind of looks like, she's got Jackson.
That mousy nose.
But I love it. I mean, you get a lot of good action. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it all lines up. Wesley ends up saving the day, saving the world, to be honest with you, from this terrorist, who I think was in a Warlock movie, if I'm not mistaken, Steve. Yeah, look it up. Bruce Payne was in some Warlock movie.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. But that following year, 1993, Evander Holyfield beats Riddick Bowe in 12 rounds for the heavyweight boxing title.
Got a little revenge. And I mean, for the audience, you get to watch a nice, delicious boxing match. And on top of it, you get what could have been a kind of tragedy, but honestly, just a crazy event to see. Fan man, Steve?
Fan man. It could have been some Final Destination fatalities. You got this guy uncontrollably floating from the air in this huge blade that's just going crazy. And that's why he got jumped. He got lumped up. The Nation of
Oh, yeah,
Islam was in
dude.
attendance. Yeah, Minister Farrakhan was in attendance. And so the Nation of Islam, they were giving him beats. Riddick Bowe's, his team was giving him beats by Dre. And then some of the audience was giving him beats by Dre.
And they're all fired up. You know, they're all fucking tanked up because they've been watching this fucking boxing match. They think they can throw bows. And honestly, they probably can, because I would be blind with rage if I'm sitting there paying the front row seats, Steve. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The cost of those tickets. All of a sudden, bing, bang, boom. I paid $20 for a beer, and then this fan man I get knocked out and I drop my beer. It's just a whole thing. You know, it ruins the experience. So I know Fan Man kind of went on to be sort of a celebrity from this, and I don't appreciate that. I respect that he's part of a historical thing, but you're a jackass, Fan Man.
Yeah, he eventually ended up taking his own life. He unalived himself.
Okay. Rest in peace, Fan Man. Sorry you were dealing with some stuff.
Yeah, man. The winner got 11 million, but the loser still got something like 9 million. And this was in 1993, man.
Isn't that crazy?
11 mil.
Yeah.
I would buy
that's why
people.
Evander Holyfield. I would buy a person. Hell, I mean, dude, you got 11 mil in the 90s. You probably, I mean, ask
Why
any of
not?
those rich motherfuckers. They were buying people.
Especially little people. I'd buy a little person for my
Hell
feet.
yeah, dude. For your feet.
Hell yeah, you tend to my feet every time I come home from work. That's your sole purpose. And then I get another one for blowjobs because you know it's right at her head. It's right at her face anyway. She ain't got to kneel or nothing.
I mean, this all makes sense to me. I'm not going in that way. I'm going more like I'm going to have a kumite at my mansion, like a Mortal Kombat situation where, you know, I'm calling in like cool celebrities and then ends up being a kumite. I got millions of dollars in the 90s. I'll handle it, you know?
Like,
that's kind of where I'm going. But, you know, you're getting a Miss Juicy lady just to blow you. So I respect that. I mean, Evander Holyfield, maybe he did a little bit of that, but he did buy a house that was so huge he couldn't pay for it at a certain point. Like it was like it was like a kingdom, and I respect that.
It's down here in Atlanta, and it's now owned by Rick Ross. The native ATLians, they said that Evander used to have giveaways at his house in the summer. He would hold kind of like block parties, but I guess you call them big house block or mansion parties where he'd like have kids come. I mean, having like parents and like their kids come through, like he would buy like supplies and stuff and, you know, school giveaways. So Evander's just a solid dude, man. He's a hero even outside the ring.
That's
but
awesome.
This was a good one. Overall, great trilogy. They fought 3 times. And the fan man thing, I feel like that added to the lore of this. The first 2 were instant classics. And I'm talking about after the bell ring, they're still wailing on each other. It was a slobber knocker, as Jim Ross would say, all throughout the match. He's taking blows, Riddick's taking blows, and they're just giving each other the business.
This is like old school heavyweight fights, too, because that's what it was. There's no... like, this guy's a technical wizard and, like, defensively great. It's just they can beat the shit out of each other's face. It's a Rocky movie.
It's straight up, and they can know how to take a punch, man. Still fucking, he's rocking. Oof. So
he took down Mike Tyson, dude. A scary Mike Tyson still. There was nothing to be done. That's why I hated Evander Holyfield, I think, for a while. I held it against him because I love Mike so much. But you're right, dude. And I love hearing that he was using his money dumbly, but also doing cool shit as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. It just seems like a good brother. But yeah, shout out to both of those legends. In 1995, Fresh Prince is airing season 6, episode 7, Not With My Cousin You Don't. Will and Carlton try to halt Ashley's planned intimate evening with her beau, Derek.
Urkel?
I thought your name was, yeah.
Are you another clone? This is a spicy episode, Steve. And it brought back some memories for me of just like this time in my life and just how exciting it was. So, love this episode. And, you know, now it's appropriate. She's a beautiful woman at this point, but Ashley somehow became just the hottie of hotties on the show. Hillary, and you got Hillary to deal with, and honestly, Aunt Viv.
It's around this time Ashley eclipsed Hillary because in this episode, we'll see. Like this era of Hillary just wasn't doing it for me with the bangs, and she's wearing like Oprah power suits and shit. Like,
Business casual, yeah, I don't like
give me
that.
season
Murphy
1 through 3.
Brown
When she was rocking with the curls and she had the big blossom 6 hats. Like, yeah, I like that.
Now Ashley's running around in dresses with stockings on that. Yep.
Yeah.
Let me get a little taste.
We start this episode off with Derek, aka Urkel, if you funky. He's trying to get a taste of some Ashley Banks on that couch, as if a huge 6'4" man with the voice of Shredder isn't going. You can't just pop in anytime. But
You're right there. Like, at least go to the pool house or like off to one of the wings. Because everyone's walking through this room. Even Jeffrey could come in. Like, he'll just say something sassy, but you're right there.
You're right there.
And as somebody who's been caught in a very intimate moment, you gotta find some privacy, guys. But this is Derek, Steve. Derek, he doesn't live by the rules that we live by.
There's something about this version of Jaleel White that I appreciate. It's kind of like he's Stefan minus the douchey, because I think that's what it does for me and Stefan. Like, yeah, you're cool, you're suave, but there's like a tinge of douche with you. Derek, you're cool to me.
He's not a model. Stefan Urkel, he knows his shit stinks and he likes the smell of it. Derek, he just likes being himself. He just likes living that Derek lifestyle, and you got to respect it because it's leading him to this. Just a nice heavy makeout sesh with Ashley Banks. You're in Beverly Hills making out with a hottie in a mansion. You're doing pretty damn good in life, Steve. I lived in LA, never got close to any level of this. I love my wife, and I met her there, but this never happened to Matt G, Derek, though, getting it.
Apparently he's in town for a college tour. He could be going to Stanford. He could go to ULA. And eventually they make out again. And this time Will pops in. And he's cool with this. Like, his cousin just making out. He's not tripping. He's just like, oh, man, you two little lovebirds. One of those kind of deals.
He starts snapping Polaroids, too, which creepy but hilarious. He's the funny uncle, Steve, or whatever. Cousin brother.
Big cuz.
Yeah. So he gives him some shit, just leaves. And then Derek gets back to the max status. And he even pulls out a little jewelry box because he brought Ashley a gift, which is, how this guy hasn't gotten laid yet is crazy, because he pulls a jewelry box out with a bracelet with charms reminding her of all the favorite things that they used to do as friends.
Aww.
Good God, man. Steve.
She ended up saying, like, I think this is the first time someone's done something like this for me. I think there's something else we should do for the first time. I should give you a pearl necklace to match that bracelet.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love that. Would you? Good. Ashley is a little unclear about what he's saying, and he's like, I'm talking about making love, girl. And Ashley's like, wait, together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I would love that. So that's how we kind of cut into the intro. But Derek just, he's not even in. He doesn't even live here, Steve. He's like, I'm coming into town. We're having this great time. Let's do this. And you got to love the confidence.
Can I put 2 fingers in? And we come back from that. Carlton and Jeffrey, they're into the kitchen. Carlton says he's going to install the new intercom system. Jeffrey's like, man, you don't even know how to plug up a toaster. So he walks away. Carlton, in the process, gets electrocuted.
It's like for real electrocuted, Steve. You're seeing fucking x-rays.
Urkel style. Now, Will and Derek, they're walking in, and even Derek, he has a short joke. Damn, you only here for 1 episode. You even got a Carlton short joke.
Yeah, that's true. He does get ganged up on, but Derek and Will are just buddies, man. And Will's like, yo, you need to go to ULA. Honey Central, the Hive. Because honeys be swarming. This is like he got game, Steve. Will's using the you're gonna get some puss.
Will's Rick Fox's character. Let me show you the ropes. Carlton, he does not care for Derek because he even says, like, hey, I'm watching you, mister. And Derek's like, man, whatever. So he goes outside. Carlton's like, I never liked the cut of that guy's jib. And I never liked that term. I always thought it was a weird term. Who the hell made that?
I mean, Will even's like, why are you looking at his jib like that?
For that long.
Like, I would love to know what that means. Because it probably means something terrifying and it's like some old saying that's crazy, but at the same time, it you're a weirdo if you say that.
In the next scene, Ashley walks in and Uncle Phil, he's there. We see him for the first time. And she asks, his mom here? It's like, oh, no, she had to run out and do some errands. But is there anything I can do? You got any questions? It's like, well, I just had a question about makeup and dicks.
Wait, what was that second thing? Nothing. You can go, Dad. So Phil leaves. Ashley goes into the kitchen and runs into Hillary. And Hillary's fully adult now, Steve. She's changed. She's metamorphosized into a Murphy Brown suit wearing adult. And instantly she's like, wait, sister radar's going off. Let's sit down. What's the tea? And they get to it, Steve. Ashley's trying to beat around the bush, but eventually it becomes like, when did you know you were first in love? Hillary has some hilarious story about fucking some guy who was held back
Buff.
3 times, but buff as hell. But he was a full-grown adult by that time.
And as they're talking about Derek, she says, like, look, I'm going to be real with you. Long distance relationships hardly ever work. I mean, look at Little Mermaid. She's on sea. He's on land. It's like, what, Hillary, what are you talking about? Look, do you know a magic crab? Do you?
She's right, though. I mean, you got to give her credit. The logic checks. It's not just she's in love, Steve. She has feelings for Derek, but she tells Hillary straight up, she's like, Derek wants to have sex. She's all full of good advice in this episode. This is a different Hillary. I mean, this is the last season, so
Last season.
she's changed. But even then, she's like, me and old guy that I was banging back in the day that I can't remember his name, we knew it was the right time. So whenever it's the right time, you're going to know. You're not that into it. And she didn't think her first time was going to be with some guy that's gone the next day, which, Jaleel doesn't live here, Steve. This is just a pump and dump.
I'm not here for a long time, just a good time. And then we cut to Ashley's room, and she's with her girls. She's picking out her best fuck me dress. One of them is this polka dot dress. Like, are we fucking Minnie Mouse?
The friends, the one with the pigtails, Steve, they made her look super young. But I got to say, just like she's the same age as Ashley and obviously an adult now, I would have loved to hang out. I would have liked to hang out with Keisha. I think her name was.
Yanoka Doyle. I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah, so they're starting to talk about it. And Ashley, she's like, have you guys had sex? And they haven't. Even Keisha's like, sounds like you're going to be the first one to pop that cherry of us, because of what they're talking about. And then basically, this conversation's happening now. So then we cut to the kitchen where Carlton's finished his intercom work. And thankfully he's alive and he actually somehow wired this thing correctly. And he's like, Will, come check this out. Like, we can just listen in now. We're just going to go through the rooms and just check it out. Check this out. Here's my room. Silence. Just like it should be. And then I think he goes into Jeffrey's room and Jeffrey's having some spicy conversation or talking to himself about just shaving his whole body.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's to somebody or not, it's still kind of weird. So they get off of that and they switch the channel to Ashley's room. They hear it all, Steve. Ashley's talking about making love. This is not what you want to hear. And Will and Carlton both collectively just start screaming. They lose it. And he doesn't like this. And he's wanting to go interrupt this whole shebang and just tell Ashley, you're not going anywhere. You're keeping a chaste lifestyle, just like Hillary.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to make her watch movies, Doris Day movies where they're singing show tunes. Matter of fact, I'm going to call a nunnery. I know none of them open. I'm going to look for a 24/7 one. Carlton, we're not even Catholic. Be open-minded, Will.
We're just gonna deprogram her. We're gonna watch Doris Day movies and que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. Whatever will be, will be. That slut. Nothing's working for our brother Carlton here, but Will's like, dude, he even tackles Carlton. It's like, you can't embarrass her like this. Don't be fucking crazy. We just got to figure this out.
Ashley and her girls come down looking fast. Derek, he eventually strolls in. Ashley's girls, they leave. She ends up going upstairs and leaves Derek to talk to Will and Carlton,
I mean, it's just bad cop, basically.
like in Bad Boys.
Yeah, hell yeah. Man, motherfucker, you 30. And then Carlton takes Derek outside to sort of intimidate him a little bit more so Will can talk to Ashley. He can't even get the question out. He just starts crying. He's like, I heard everything. He tells her the truth, but she just gets pissed. And she's like, look, I would have expected this out of Carlton, but not you. Not Will. You son of a bitch. Which, that hurts Will, Steve.
Yeah, especially when you compare him to Carlton. And then now we're at the date. And they pull up to the hill. Now, Matt, I've seen this in movies and in TV shows, but you lived in Cali. Is this a common thing, or is this just a sitcom thing that they wanted you to believe?
I mean, I'm sure you could find a place to do this, but I feel like probably going to have a bunch of homeless people there just fucking with you the whole time.
In 2025, probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be in a convertible just fucking anyway. It's out in LA, but you know what? They're near Bel-Air, so you know what, Steve? I wasn't in the rich parts. They probably went up into the hills, you know? There's probably some place up on Mulholland. Jaleel took Ashley just for a nice little getaway.
Yeah, I mean, this was the 90s. Things were probably safer, I like to think.
More wholesome.
So yeah, they pull up to the hill. Ashley, she tells Derek about the guys overhearing that conversation. They heard about me and telling my friends that I wanted you to be my first. And they have a back and forth. It gets to the point where Derek asks, like, well, are you ready? Ashley says, if you are, I am sure. Look, would you rather not do this? Because I'm not trying to apply any pressure like that. Not that serious.
I'm Derek. I'm the perfect person. And he is, because he's like, look, I'm not about that. I'm not putting any pressure on you. And Ashley's relieved. She's like, oh, fuck, yeah, oh, thank you. Because she says what I said earlier, that, you know, she just never thought her first time was going to be with some guy that was going to be out of town the next day.
Right.
And Derek gets that and is like, well, okay. Blue balling it a little bit, but what are we doing now? A little miniature golf? You know, I gotta relieve. I gotta go. I'll be right back. Just gotta get the evil out real quick. I would have loved if this was Jaleel White's dramatic acting turn, where he was like, "You tempted me, bitch." He's under. He's a shitty guy at this, Steve.
On a very special episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And Ashley, she makes it back home. Will stops her to talk. Hey, Ashley, we used to talk about everything. I don't know what happened, man. Look, I'm sorry we listened to your convo. I just can't believe that my cousin is having a sex life.
Doing sex stuff. But Ashley's kind of still shitty about it. You know, she's pissed that he was listening in on it and trying to sabotage shit. She's like, live with it. But as she's going up the stairs, she's like, look, Will, nothing happened. And you see Will, like, because his back's to her when she says that, he's like, generally, honestly, like, I've never had a sister that's younger. I get, like, this is a thing and whatnot, but I wouldn't care, Steve. Unless it's just some crazy shit.
I have little female cousins or younger female cousins, like, because I'm the oldest out of anything, oldest son, nephew, all of that. And I actually have a younger sister, too. So I can relate to this, man. You don't want to think about your little sibling getting penetrated. You hate to think that happened. Like if they have babies, it's like, oh man, it's like you had a miracle baby, like Jesus, because that other thing that totally didn't happen, right? Right,
Derek, you fuck. But they make up. Wills admits that he's like, I panicked. I should have known you were smart enough to make a good decision. Which was echoed by Hillary too. She said the same thing. And Ashley's got a good head on her shoulders, Steve. So they hug, and as they're hugging and they are sharing in this like really nice private moment, we hear the intercom come on, and Carlton's tearing up like, "Oh, that was so beautiful," and that's perfect. The end,
Yeah.
Steve.
Another classic, man. I love a nice crossover. Like I remember when this episode first came, I was like, "What? They didn't even. I don't even think they promoted this. It's here. He's in this. What a multiverse shift. What?
I like Jaleel coming in to just being a pimp, Steve. He's just a mercenary at this point. He's out there. And I like Derek as a character, and I feel like he's going places, Steve. Just like to put that
And
out.
he didn't even have to take his glasses off, man. It's in you, not on you. On that same day in 1995, Little Bear premieres on Nick Jr. Based upon a series of children's books. A Grizzly Club has many
Series of children's books.
He has many misadventures with his friends. 5 seasons, 65 episodes, Matt. I really practiced this, and I only did this to fuck with you. But damn it, I just killed the whole momentum of that.
I don't remember it, Steve. I don't remember these children's books or the show.
You sure, Matt?
I don't. Shit. Damn it, Weed. How dare
That
you?
one time I spent the night at your house, bro. We had a Little Bear marathon.
Yeah, dude. We were 12. We were watching Little Bear. We were having a great time. Duck
singing a
and
theme
Cat
song?
Owl and Emily. They were all there.
Damn it, I messed that up. But that following year, 1996, Set It Off premieres. Desperation drives 4 inner city women to bank robbery in Los Angeles. Then they start mistrusting each other. Directed by F. Gary Gray, starring Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah, Vivica A. Fox, John C. McGinley, Kimberly Alicia, Blair Underwood. Oh my god, little
You son of a bitch.
Oh god. Oh man.
Steve, I hate to say it, but I think you set it off.
Dude, yeah. I wish I had that down pat. But dude, a great movie. It's an instant classic. This is actually my favorite Queen Latifah movie. My favorite of, well, I'm not going to say out of any of her projects, obviously Living Single, but man, she took the show. She was the showstopper in this. Everybody played their roles perfectly. You know, you even get a Dr. Dre cameo. And this might actually be
Steve. You get Dub C
Eh?
up in the piece too.
Killer Gang.
Biggie Bang. He does Biggie Bang in a huge way. Honestly, he's one of the most cold-blooded gangsters I've ever seen in a bank robbery. But I agree. I love this movie. Proof F. Gary Gray's a bad motherfucker in terms of a director. Obviously, he did Friday. This is a great movie. It's a great heist movie. It's got great action, filled with hotties. This movie actually inspired me a lot because me and Aaron actually wrote our student like script thesis based off of this. And just kind of like pulled from the bones of it. But I've always dug this movie. Couple standouts to me. Vivica A is a badass in this. The guy from Scrubs, who
John
was
C.
in,
McGinley.
yeah, dude, that guy is like, I mean, it's not even quietly. This guy's been in a shitload of good stuff. He's just like he's got crazy range, you know?
He was in Platoon.
Yeah, exactly. He was really good, but he was kind of a coward in that. And he's a coward in this too, in kind of somewhat.
Apparently, he followed LAPD to, you know, prepare for this role.
The little like smoky voice chick. I don't like that lady, Steve.
You know, that's Rock's wife.
Well, Rock's wife, and I don't like her in this. She's got a bad attitude. But something that just because I'm a pervert from when I was a kid, when Queen Latifah's living the big life and she's got her hottie rubbing on her on the car,
Yeah.
that chick, first of all, I
Yeah.
just want to be a fly on the wall during that scene. But I just remember just instantly as a kid watching that. We didn't have the internet, or at least I didn't have access to the internet to look up who this person was, but just always infatuated with just a very fine woman, Steve. Queen Latifah had great fucking taste in women in this movie.
And she didn't even talk, Matt. And also something important to note, Mac from Night Court was in this. When Jada Pinkett, her brother dies, and she's going through a lot, can't afford bills and all of that. So Mac,
Did he have a mustache?
he had a mustache, yeah.
Yeah, I know what
And
you're talking about.
help me, I'm in a bind, Nate. And he's the guy who's got it. You know what I mean? So he's like, hey, we're not just gonna get this for nothing. Well, what are you talking about? You know. And at first she's like, no, I'm good on your money. But eventually she gives in, and you cut to the next scene, and it's Mac just all on Jada Pinkett, sweating and everything. Like, damn. I never looked at Mac the same after this movie either.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that is tough. You don't come back from a scene like that. Really nothing like bad to say about this movie at all. I think it ends well. I think it has a great ending, honestly. Like, not a happy ending, so it's not the typical Hollywood thing. And I just think the way it all ends is great. Jada makes it out alive. Everyone else goes out, especially Queen Latifah. And the one thing I'll always say to Queen Latifah in this, when you're driving towards the cops at the end, just don't stop. You could have gone right through and at least continued the chase. She just stops and just has a moment, a cigarette, and lets the cops collect themselves. But I think if you rewind that scene, Steve, and you'll understand what I'm saying, she comes up. There's a gap in those cop cars. She could have just kept going, Steve.
Straight 5-star.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
one more thing, man. The boss of Queen Latifah and Kimberly Elise, he's played by Thomas Jefferson Bird, and he's just like riding on him hard. Dude is hilarious, man. He was actually in Bamboozled. He's been in a couple episodes of Living Single. He was in Brooklyn Finest, and everything he's in, man. For those scenes, he cracks me up. In the one scene, he was like, who the fuck do you think you is? Mighty fucking Morphin Power Rangers?
One other notable thing that always was outrageous to me is that, the opening scene of this is Vivica A. Fox, who works in a bank, right? She gets robbed by Dub C. Dub C kills a bitch in front of her, and she panics, and it's this whole thing. She's taken into a room by her boss and fired because she just knew of Dub C because they grew up together. But she just literally had somebody's brains blown out on her. And she even says to the guy, like, you're firing me? And the only reason they're firing her is because she's admitted to knowing the guy. But I was like, this is fucking crazy. But it's a good reason to start robbing banks, I guess.
A good reason to set it off. In 1998, Boy Meets World is airing Season 6, Episode 7, Everybody Loves Stuart. Cory may be possibly expelled from college when he knocks a teacher out the screen window of the commons room. However, that same teacher hit on Topanga in her dorm last night, and he's lying about it.
I don't like this, Steve. I don't like Stuart. I don't like Fred Savage in this. I do like a whole family of sons getting paid off of being on an episode of a TV show, though. Basically.
And this is actually the third time they've worked together.
Well, this Fred
no.
Savage is playing a straight scumbag, and I don't like that. Stewart's a scumbag, Steve. Spoiler alert. And it's getting on my. I watched this today. Outrageous. And it's another thing. It's just like that bank thing I was talking about, Steve. I don't like how these people are treating our people in the 90s. Topanga?
There's some savages.
That's so savage. We open this one. We're in class. Cory and the gang are in college now, Steve. This isn't high school anymore. And just like college that we all went to, they got a really engaging professor. He's different. treats him different. He's the cool professor. He's like Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society. Everyone just loves this guy because he's different.
This guy's cool. You don't even have to refer to him as Mr. He's Stuart. You could just call me Stuart.
Call me Stu if you want. Stu if we're having a good time. And he's also honest, Steve. You know, he's like, these papers suck, guys. Except Topanga. Yours, out of sight. Everyone else's, work on it. This isn't high school anymore. Take your diapers off.
It's like she's a wonder kid blowing him away.
Yeah, he's laying it on real thick too. He's like, "Hey Topanga, can I talk to you over here real quick? Just wanted to tell you, man, you smell great. Also, you just know a lot. Good job. Anyway, I'm an adult talking to an adult, right? I feel like Stuart would be a good cult leader, if I'm being honest, Steve. He knows how to persuade people by giving them like compliments, you know?
Yeah, his grifting gets a 10 rating. Even Sean at the end of this class, he said, you know what, man, Feeney never treated me like this. Stuart actually treats me like an equal.
Dude, do you think he likes me? Like, you think we could hang? Chill out, dude. It's like people when we had that weather class. This guy's fucking intense. It's like, this guy's a douche. Not everyone's falling for this because we cut to whatever this is. It's the max of Boy Meets World in college. It's a coffee shop. I don't know if it's the student union.
The Monks
It's where they're
Cafe.
hanging out. Yeah. Everyone's there. Corey's brother's there, Eric. And he's even like, look, man, see Stuart over there? See that guy? That guy's a scumbag. I got bad dude radar, and it's going off right now. My spider sense is tingling in a bad way.
And Eric, man, he's like a Kramer in a way. He's very off kilter, but sometimes, man, he's right on the nose.
You know, the kids moved to college. What it turns out Feeney did too. He's got a job teaching at this college. He's in the big leagues, and he's talking to the dean, Steve. She's basically telling him in this scene that he's a little high strung. He needs to chill out. She even gives him a coffee.
And,
Don't ask how I had a scone.
And Eric even sees Feeney across the room talking about Stuart. Like, man, that dude can't even clap Feeney's erasers. Hey, Feeney! Feeney!
Get that pussy, Feeney. And Feeney, you know, he just ignores that shit, but respect. And Eric, that proves Eric's got some good judgment, Steve. He sees it. He's willing to give fucking Feeney his propers.
That Stu guy, he's bad news. And now we're in Topanga and Angela's room. And Stuart, he just walks in. He's like, hey, I saw the door was open. First, like, what are you even doing in our dorm?
How'd you know where my dorm was?
She told him.
She told him the number and stuff?
Apparently.
No,
maybe not the number.
Yeah. He's like, I'll just go there. I'll go floor by floor.
Right.
I can smell those titties. But he comes in. Wolf's got a scent, Steve. And he comes in sniffing around. Angela's like, oh, what the fuck's going on? If I didn't know any better, you know, something's going on here. But Stuart's also very good at playing off stuff, you know, seeming very innocent. Like, oh, nothing going on. I'm sitting here chilling. You want to hang out? You know, if you want to leave, that's cool too, though.
Unless you're a watcher. So yeah. Topanga actually tells Angela, hey, it's cool. I'll meet you at the student union. So she leaves, and now it's just Stuart and Topanga. He's like, look, I just have to ask first, have we crossed the line? Like, I'm your teacher, and I want to bone you. But it's like, is that okay? Is it all right if we do that?
He's not saying it direct like that, but he likes to throw out hypotheticals. Yeah. Which I wish I would have known about this as a younger man. It's because it's a hilarious way to try to be a pimp. Because he's like, just like hypothetically speaking, like you wrote a paper about a guy. I'm a guy. Hypothetically, what if I got naked in here right now? And she's like, wait, what? He's like, I'm just joking. Because, you know, it's whatever. But hypothetically, if I wasn't joking, how would you feel?
He gets up and he's like, how about if I wanted to see you more than Tuesdays and Wednesdays? Then he sits back on the bed. She said, like, Stuart, you're making me uncomfortable, and I think you should leave. No, you don't. And then after that, Cory walks in.
And then Stuart's like, hey, what's up? I'm out, ski. Cory, you're the shit. Get back to me on that paper. Topanga.
Even Corey's being naive because he's like, you know what? Feeney wouldn't be caught dead in a dorm, let alone a dorm room. Sean's right. He's in a whole nother league.
this guy's a legend.
Yeah.
A lot of weird judgment on this because I just feel like if I'm anybody at all, I don't care who it is, how cool this teacher is. You walk in and the guy's just in a dorm room like this, you'd be like, you're a teacher, dude. What are you doing in here?
Something
Even if
about
you
this
say
ain't
it
right.
jokingly, but yeah, Cory, he's lost in the sauce. Steve Stewart, this guy knows what's up. He'll do house calls. Shit, I was in my underwear. He came in and taught me math. I had a half a chub. He's teaching me about calculus. It is what it is. This is college, guys. But Topanga, she's left feeling just gross. She tells Cory straight up, like, this dude straight up made me feel like super uncomfortable. He came in here and she tells him what happened. She doesn't like keep it a secret. So now Cory knows, Steve. Would you rush right at the guy? I wouldn't wait till the next day, I feel like. I would go find this dude.
I think I would wait until we cross paths because it would give me some time to think about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because I am in school and he's a teacher at the school. So for me, I tried to be more strategic than Cory. Props to Cory. This is one of the shining Cory moments, considering he's a piece of crap himself, in my opinion. But now they're at the union. They're back at the union. Cory, he sees Stuart get there. He wants to talk on the patio. Hey, man, I just got to holler at you a second. They get outside, and Stuart says, you know what, about your paper. Like, oh, no. This isn't about the paper. Topanga told me that you made her feel uncomfortable. She actually said that you hit on her. And he's like, what if I told you I was?
Like, which is crazy. This is where this becomes like a fucking NCIS episode, Steve. Because now I'm wondering how much of this has gone on in Stuart's past here. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty quick to go nuclear and be like, what if I was pussy? What are you going to
He's
do?
doubling down. For sure.
So we see them talking now, and we cut inside this coffee shop. Everybody's set up on the couch, and you can kind of see behind them that Cory's talking to Stuart, like on this patio. So they're having like some bullshit conversation. They're making fun of stuff. And they say, I forget what it's about, but they say something to Topanga, and she's just kind of like paying attention to this argument. All of a sudden, Cory just fucking, kabam! You know, Chuck Norris's Stuart through the window, Steve. I mean, that's crazy. At that point, I'm like, dude, this is like weird now. This isn't just like you're a scumbag. You seem kind of like evil.
Even more of a douchebag move. He's like, congrats. You just got yourself expelled from college.
And at that point, I'd be like, all right, go off, Cory. Go nerd rage and just like plead insanity. That's what would happen to me. But I don't like this part of this episode because we cut to Sean and Cory's room and Sean's like, dude, what's your problem, dude? They're like miffed at Cory at first because of what's going on.
They are there. The whole crew's in the room to support them at first. And then the parents, they get there. And the dad's like, dude, you hit a teacher? Like, did he threaten you? No. He hit you? No. He made a move on Topanga. In the classroom? No, in her dorm room. Oh, shit.
I like how the dad played that because if I was the dad, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, let's just lawyer up real quick. And even Feeney fucking shows up. And also Feeney's got that inside knowledge and he's like, look, man, the dean, she's got a hearing scheduled. Like, you actually could get kicked out of school for this because it's your word versus Stuart's word.
Giving you a heads up. Now we're back at the union. Eric, Jack, and Rachel. I forgot Rachel. She is a corn actress now. I saw some of her work for, research purposes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to do a little Bing search after this. Just check that out. I love that. Rachel figured it out. She was trying to help out Cory in this because Eric's got her. Jack, he's a Lawrence. Man, there's a lot of fucking Hollywood DNA in this episode. They're just basically trying to incriminate Stuart at this point. Eric's like, look, Jack, go look sexy for Stuart. And Jack's like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm like, what are you, crazy? And then he tells Rachel, go flaunt yourself. I like how Eric's just pulling the strings here. And I like how he has the power to just be like, Rachel, put your ass out. Very amateur pimp of Eric, I guess.
Like he owns a brothel. So she sits at Stuart's table. She starts flirting. Stuart's like, wait, what did you say? You don't hear what they're talking about. Eventually, Rachel, she stands up, is like, look, oh, so what, am I too tall for you? Well, is it the fiery red hair? Or is it because you're too insecure about your height, little man? Or is it that? Look, you're not going to reject me. And then she walks off.
I reject you. I have little titties. Is it because I have no ass? Like she just tears herself down. Fucking again, dude. Fred is a savage in this episode. He could have gotten some sniz. It walked right up to his table, and yet he just threw it away. I mean, he's got his sights set on Topanga, Steve. But then she comes in. She's like, look, you know what you did. You made me super uncomfortable. You know it was wrong what you did. And if you don't figure the situation out and get my fiance out of trouble here and stop this nonsense, I'm going to the dean. She throws that ultimatum up at him, and he's like, what are you talking about? I love his energy. Anytime he gets confronted, he's like, no, you said that was cool.
You came on to me. See you at the hearing. And now we're at the hearing. Eric, he's about business. He's standing on business, Matt. He walks in with his briefcase. People's court thing kicks in. Now it's time for action, Jack.
But he gets pushed to the side. The dean's not having it, but he's there for moral support. The dean's like, look, Stuart, tell me what happened here. And Stuart's got a slimy, great answer, of course. I'm a good teacher. This is just a case of me caring too much, basically. Sure, I went in a student's dorm alone, but it was because I love teaching.
I'm passionate about these children.
Somebody's got to get through to these kids, Dean. God damn it.
Yeah, or get through in them.
And then again, like this guy might be like a Johnny Cochran fill-in, because then he's like, Dean, Exhibit A, Sean, he's one of my students. Sean, tell the dean how good of a teacher I am. And I guess Sean thinks he's under like oath and he has to tell the truth. I'd be like, this guy's a piece of shit, Dean. He did whatever. But Sean's like, put me on the spot here. Yeah, he's a great teacher.
He treats me like an adult. He treats me like an equal. But it's not like Feeney's a bad teacher. Like he does put that in. Let's not besmirch the Fiend dog. But Feeney, he's like the cross-examiner. He's like, look, how did you know where she lived? She told me. Why are you even in her room? That's kind of weird, dude. You think it's proper to walk in a young lady's dorm room?
He's calling Feeney by his first name, which is ultimate disrespect. He's like, look, man, you old teachers might not get it. I'm the new blood. We teach in a different way, right? And I come whenever I'm needed, wherever I'm needed, however I'm needed. All right? So, yeah, was I in her dorm room? Sure. Was I extremely aroused? Clearly, but I was there to teach. I even asked her about crossing the line. So, I think we're good here, guys. I'm going to go back and teach.
But Cory, he steps in and he's like, look, you know what you did, man. You made a move on Topanga, my fiance. He said he wasn't going to stop. The dean says, like, look, it's inexcusable no matter what the provocation is. Like, you hit someone from the staff.
And you are suspended for the period of 1 day. And so everyone's like, oh, wow, okay. And then Stuart's like, Judge, this is fucking crazy. You're punishing me because I care. Okay, fine. But I don't like that this student who's assaulted me is going to still be on the campus. I don't like that. Dean tells him, I got my eye on you. I don't like that there was nothing else. This was a little kind of a light tap on the wrist, Steve.
We need closure. And Sean's like, man, I don't know how I could even compare him to you, Feeney.
And Feeney's like, get your shit together, Sean. I'll be fucking the dean. Which I think he probably does, Steve. And if he doesn't, that's a crime. But I think it's a crime Fred Savage gets to continue to teach these hot young co-eds. Because he clearly can't control himself.
Kevin Arnold, I want to send you right back to the 60s with one of these.
What would you do if I came in your room? Would you take off?
Nice. You were
Yeah.
going somewhere with that.
I had it. I didn't want to keep going and get too fucking crazy. I've been told I get a little perverted sometimes. I lean on that a little too much, Steve. So we're gonna just I'm trying to change for the better, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The evolution of Matt. Also, in 1998, The Siege premieres. The secret U.S. abduction of a suspected terrorist leads to a wave of terrorist attacks in New York City, which leads to the declaration of martial law. Directed by Edward Zwick, starring Denzel Washington, Annette Bening, Bruce Willis, Tony Shalhoub, and David Proval.
Steve, I told you, I never saw this movie.
Never
I
heard
think,
of it.
yeah, I really hadn't. I kind of remember, but see, here's the problem. Bruce Willis has the same smoldering look on the cover of a lot of movies. So I think I confused this with maybe like one of his other war movies, but god damn, this is a good movie. Or at least I enjoyed it. I think as far as this goes, like a terrorist plot movie, martial law movie, there's a lot of crazy stuff that it was made before 9/11. So there's a lot of like 9/11 shit or like, themes that are kind of true to life in it. And then we get this more of like government takeover thing, which is unfortunately right now in the world we're living in, something that is a little more relevant in this exact time and place.
I liked it, man. And this is one of those movies where I guess Bruce Willis is a side villain or one of the villains because of his wrongdoing. But hey, man, they came over here messing with us. Come on, like.
Yeah, that was the only kind of confusing part because even in this movie, he's against martial law, but he then becomes like the villain of the movie in some way. But that's a little bit of a confusing thing. But all in all, dude, like Denzel, Bruce Willis, I mean, Annette Bening's in here fucking this Iranian dude, looking kind of sexy at times, being a CIA operative. Great action, I think. Cool fucking story. You get Tony Shalhoub just throwing some zingers in here, acting his ass off too, I gotta say.
The Shaloobster.
At one point in this movie, they start rounding up fucking Middle Eastern people and just putting them into camps.
Racial
And there's
profiling.
like an intense scene. Yeah, there's an intense scene with Shalhoub and Denzel where they're trying to find his son. It's like an Oscar-worthy performance. So, I mean, with all we've said, like, there's just a lot of good-ass acting in that too. And I don't know. I feel like this movie kind of got scrubbed because of the content and how, it kind of is a little too close to home, I think, for some people probably.
In hindsight, on that same day in 1998, The Waterboy premieres. A waterboy for a college football team discovers he has a unique tackling ability and becomes a member of the team. Directed by Frank Karachi, starring Adam Sandler, Kathy Bates, Fairuza Balk, Jerry Reed, and Henry Winkler.
Coach Clan. Love it. This is full Adam Sandler. He went full Adam Sandler, Steve. We get the voice. We get him getting the girl again, as he always does. Kathy Bates, just a lunatic. Well, she's great in it. Henry Winkler. I mean, that's a star-studded affair.
We get your boy Lynn Swan in the beginning.
And Joe Montana.
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard, yeah, dude. We get him. We get all the Sandler guys.
Lawrence
Farmer
Taylor.
Grant's in this with his nipple rings. Don't smoke crack.
Jimmy Johnson, my goat.
Bill Cowher's in it. I know that.
Bill Cowher. That he wasn't Cowher. It was Bill Cowher sitting next to Jimmy Johnson. Hey, Waterboy.
I love when he gets tackled. He's like, he gets an ultimate stutter, Steve. These movies, he had his cast that you would always get too. Like, now it is what it is, and you'll see some of these people show up, but like, this is him in full effect. Everybody was into Sandler. He was getting to do whatever the fuck he wanted. People seem to not like this movie as much as other Sandler movies. I don't get it. If you like Sandler, this is the ultimate.
This is probably my number one. Depending on what day you ask me, it's this one or Billy Madison.
You can do it. I mean, that came from this. That was from this movie. That's where it originated. Like I said, this is where we're kind of seeing a lot of that familiar Sandler stuff, and it was becoming more commonplace. So I love this movie.
We can't leave out Big Show. Well,
what are you, kid? 9, 10 years old? I'm 33 years old. Is it Mean Gene in it too?
No, that's Chris Farley's brother.
Oh,
that's
you're right.
him.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Dear
dude.
Waterboy. Eat shit and kill yourself. Signed everyone.
You the devil. I feel like Little Nicky's better than this, but we're in the. I think that's
Whoa.
post '90s, but
Definitely.
I love Little Nicky. And then there's Big Daddy, and then there's Billy Madison, and then there's Happy Gilmore, and then I'm not doing them in order, but yeah, Waterboy, still in that prime Sandler time where you're just getting everything you want out of it. It's a familiar story, but it works.
Yeah, man. Definitely an instant classic. What are the callbacks this week, Matt?
Just a quick shout out to the Drexel Theater in town where I live. We got to see Wayne's World in the theater last night because they just, show old movies. I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater, but it was cool to see it. And man, I forgot how hot Tia Carrera was. I mean, just a queen of the 90s that I wanted to just have sit on my face.
Yeah. She might still even look like that, if I'm not
She
mistaken.
does. I mean, she's a little bit. She's got a little more junk in the trunk, but she's still sexy as hell, dude. Tia Carrera, man. When she's strumming on that guitar in the club, not usually turned on by musicians or them like just strumming a guitar, but she just looks sexy. So shout out to Tia Carrera. Shout out to Wayne's World. Shout out to freaking Rob Lowe being hilarious. Throw him in an SNL-led movie. It just is him and that. Then Tommy Boy. Rob Lowe really got some juicy roles because of being, being connected to SNL in some way because they loved using him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good, I guess you could call it, straight man in these kind of comedies. The evil, handsome guy.
Yeah. But I just love seeing 90s movies in the theater still. It's cool that people do that. It doesn't happen a lot, but I don't know. I always try to take the opportunity to do it when I can because, man, it does. There's something about seeing something when we saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the theater. There's just something about seeing that shit in the theater where you get it takes you back to when you saw that shit. You get a flashback. It's not in a good way. Hell yeah, man. What about you?
Well, 1991, Quantum Leap, and I kind of wanted to cover this at first, but it's an hour long and we had a lot to cover. They're airing an episode, The Wrong Stuff, and this time around, Matt, Sam is inside of a fucking monkey. I shit you not.
No.
He's inside the body of a monkey who's being tested on. It's like, how they were testing monkeys into in NASA and taking them out to space and shit. So his job is to protect the fellow chimps and stuff. It's one of those most out there quantum leaps, which is hard to say because all of them are out there, literally.
Yeah.
But
he was Dr. Ruth. He was a mentally challenged man.
He was a black man.
He was a monkey at some point, apparently, too. I didn't know he could leap into an animal, Steve.
Me neither. And I watched this show back in the day in syndication. I had completely missed this episode. I must have been outside when they played this in reruns.
Damn. Well, I'm going to watch that right now when I go downstairs and eat dinner, Steve. Fuck. That sounds fantastic. I love that.
Man, yeah, take a gummy and watch this, man. Available on Roku. So yeah, Sam, man, doing it for the chimps. But also in '97, Seinfeld is airing the Merv Griffin Show, and we just covered Seinfeld, but this is another classic from the last season where Kramer, he sees some antique furniture and he instantly realizes that it's the set of the Merv Griffin Show. So he gets it, brings it into his apartment, and he turns it into a full-on TV show, a late night talk show set, and hilarity ensues, as you could imagine. But
isn't Newman always his guest host?
It's always, yeah, he's always his Ed McMahon, and he doesn't talk to his friends in a normal way. He's talking to them as guests. So you just had this happen to you, Jerry. Explain more about that.
I love that. I do remember that one. But I love it. Another classic.
But please share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister that she's my baby tonight. Check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, and Wrestling with Ron Zilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Matt G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Ow. If you smell what Steve and Matt G are cooking, there you go.